Good morning, Vietnam. Come along and read the news with Pearle Snapp. Let's make it snappy. Let's snap up the news this morning together. We did pull some cards out of the drum, and they're really interesting. For the second time this week, I have pulled this card out of the drum. And I kind of knew it. And then I discovered that that person in my town was recently extremely quietly replaced. I thought so. I expected that. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that, because I got a whole town full of those people mad at me right now. Or maybe they're like me. I don't know. Maybe they're happy to have been released from the, that reign of terror or something. I know I am. I know I am. I'm serious too. Okay. All right. Come on, let's read the news together. Pearle Snapp's going to take you on a little walk through the news here. Let me see if I can get this all set up so that you can actually see what I'm looking at. I don't know how to share my screen on the computer, so I'm going to have to do it like this. Let's see if this will work. Oh, there we go. See, you see Tourette there? I keep Tourette on my screen. Okay. All right. The first article that I was looking at in my Apple News feed this morning, it's from a publication called Business Insider, okay? Why Gen Z, Millennials, Boomers, and Gen X fight. Generational conflict. Okay, this has been a topic on in our corner of YouTube, people. Okay? So, I suggest maybe take a look at this. I mean, what it says is they're going to do research on this in a different way on the generational conflict. It happens because these labels are put on these generations, like, these labels, right? Gen Z, Millennials, Boomers, Gen X. But they're kind of meaningless, and they make all they do is enable the generational warfare. That's all they do. They don't give us any real useful insight. So these people who do research about why events arise due to generational conflict, they're doing research about it. They're going to start grouping people differently, okay? They group them into different groups of what they call cohorts, okay? And those are all people within a group that are doing basically the same thing or having the same experience, or they're under the same set of circumstances. That's a group of cohorts, okay? So they're gonna group them more like that, and not so much by these. They're almost like advertising catchphrases or something. They don't mean anything. I think they were invented more to market crap to people that you don't even need, okay? And to create friction between the generations, because that's how the powers that be stayed in power, by having us all fight with each other. No unity between the generations, right? But when you get to the last paragraph here, which is really all you need to know, I mean, look at it. It says fake generations. So they're projecting fake ideas out here to make you hate them, okay? We hate boomers, and they caused all these problems. Oh, you Gen Xers are lazy, and you won't, whatever people say, all these stereotypes, right? They're almost like racial stereotypes. We don't like stereotypes, do we? No, we don't. Stereotypes, bad, okay? Here, stereotyping is just very powerful, whether you love it or hate it. That's why it's used. When you're clicking on an article about generation concepts, it may be because you're irritated or cackling at the stereotype that's being portrayed in the headline, but it's also because you're trying to understand how the culture is changing. And I think there's a great impulse there. We might say, oh, kids these days are different, when really it's that people these days are different, and kids are kids. Okay, so when you get to the very last, we want to understand each other. Yeah, we do. When you get to the very last paragraph, this is where the gold is here, okay? It's always been common for elders to express some degree of concern or alarm in response to younger people's departures and behavior from the norms established in the elders' coming of age, okay? So that's why a lot of older people are shocked by transgenders and stuff like that, okay? By the woke stuff going. They are shocked because they've never seen anything like this before, okay? But all the kids are being trained to hate what they're saying and portray these elders that are just expressing their truth as bad, they're enemies. But the kids don't understand. They're being kept separate from us so that they can't understand that things haven't always been like that. They can't get the real truth, okay? There's a reason the kids these days trope is, well, a trope. A trope means it's an old saying, right? There's a reason the kids these days, kids these days, right? Whatever generational labels the future brings, it seems fated that the senior citizens of 21-23 will fixate on the supposed character deficiencies of their younger counterparts, their work ethic perhaps, or their self-obsession, while the youth bemoan the challenges imparted by their elders' mistakes. The more things change, the more they stay the same. So that's just a condition that never changes. The generations are always, people change, circumstances change, okay? We need to look more at what were the circumstances that were changing. Not at those bad people that did stuff, because that's just blaming and shaming and doesn't really bring any truth or settle anything. Okay, let's move on. Now I'm looking at these stories that are available, other stories available. Melania keeps rejecting Trump requests to campaign with him. To me, this doesn't look like either one of them. I think these are both body doubles. And there's a lot of noise in the background about Melania not really being Trump's wife or something like that. Oops. Oh, I accidentally clicked on. Yeah, see? All right, I'm looking. Okay, now there's a close-up. I can see subtleties in the faces of both these people that tells me they're both doubles. These are not the original people. That's my take, okay? That's just my take. I don't know. That's just my take. Okay, travel disruption likely as Airbus jets undergo engine inspection. I'm thinking, look for more of this, travel disruptions, because people are getting run down now. They're catching people. Out there in the streets, it's a big dragnet. Watch out. I think this is a time when you need to just have some extra groceries at home and just stay home and look at the news, and decode it. Okay, look, meet the grumpy stayers, people stuck in jobs who can't find better ones. These people are being harvested. Their energy is being harvested off. And this is my big take on this. Check this story out. First, I looked at this. First of all, look at the language here. Barbie blows up Oppenheimer. This is the Sisterhood of the Rose bomb being dropped on the corrupt, satanic military establishment that made these bombs. And this, to me, this face has kind of a feminine look to it. I don't know. That could be I'm thinking that might be someone who's was born the opposite sex. I don't know. All these people might be. I don't know. That's one of the tricks they use, that are used in this secondary illusionary reality that we're in, this matrix we're trying to break out of. I think this is some news for you gals and the Sisterhood of the Rose gals. You're doing it. You're blowing up the bad guys. Shout out to I Have No Cut Cards Tarot, Kuan Yin. You're doing it. You're doing it. We doing it, okay? We doing it. What else did I see in the news here? Come along and look at the news with Pearle Snapp. Let's go to archaeology. That's one of my favorite topics. Let's see what's new in the world of archaeology. Central America's ancient ruins just became one labyrinth cooler, thanks to archaeologists uncovering, sounds like they uncovered some kind of underground maze or something. Ooh, I want to get into that story. Early humans survived an American ice age, archaeologists say. They're finding all kinds of things, people, that have been buried, the things they've been hiding about what's been going on the planet, right? Perfectly preserved Roman glassware recovered from 2,000-year-old shipwreck. 500-year-old gold coins hidden by monk in German monastery. Archaeologists discover the entrance to the underworld beneath the Church of Mexico. Oh my God. This reminds me of that movie from Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, if anybody knows what that movie's about. Oh my God. Okay, from Dusk Till Dawn here. Discovered a network of tunnels they believe served as the gateway to the Zapotec underworld in the ancient city of Mitla, present-day Oaxaca. Interesting. I've always wanted to go there. Oh, and then Oaxaca's the region where they celebrate the Day of the Dead. Uh-oh. Okay. I think more than just tunnels is being uncovered here. Much more. There's so much interesting stuff to tune into. I want to also show you a podcast that I stumbled onto that's really super, 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 super interesting. Oh my God, is this interesting? It's this channel on Substack, this channel. Go there, start listening to these podcasts. It's so interesting, okay? This one. But all up in here, people, go listen to these. I was blown away last night. I mean, everybody likes a good bedtime story. Everybody likes a good fairy tale. Everybody likes a goddamn Peabody who's in their power. 2 thumbs up to that channel. Go look at it, all right? And I keep telling people, go outside this goddamn, Apple News, legacy news bullshit. There's interesting things in here, but go outside of here to the alternative spaces, okay? Such as, hang on. I find this to be a really good source of interesting material, this website. Okay? Look what they're featuring at the top here. Unfolding amid turmoil. Wow. Okay, I want to show some of this. Here's the collective of ascended masters. There's some interesting stuff on this channel, and if you've been working on developing your discernment and doing the work, you'll know what to look at and what not to. If you need to, just use your pendulum. Ask, does it benefit me to look at this, to listen to this, to see this? If you get a no, don't look at it. Okay? You've been learning how to trust your own discernment. And you're there. You're there. We're getting somewhere, people. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. And also, I wanted to say something about the intense channelings that I'm getting through music these days. And I put links to 2 pieces of music in yesterday's video that I posted. Sorry, I've got a lot of other thoughts. That's why my speech is sort of halting sometimes, because I'm having a lot of thoughts come in all the time. So you'll notice I sometimes speak very haltingly. Other times I got a lot to pour out, you know, and I'm sorry about that. It's weird being like this. It is weird. It's weird being weird. And I can't help it. That's the way they made me. That's the way I was made. That's the way God made me. And I'm wearing the green today, so you can see this is who I am. I'm wearing the green. Here come the Irish. Okay. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to have to cut this out and edit this part out where I have a brain fart. What was I going to say? Oh, about the music. I gave you a link to the Raiders March from Raiders of the Lost Ark by the Berlin Philharmonic. And I was crying over it yesterday. And that's because I finally figured out what I was channeling there. I was channeling this march part of it. The whole first part, the march part, da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da, da 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 da. That's a whole march is this battle we've been going through, okay? It's like rallying the troops, getting the job done and everything. And then all of a sudden the tone of the music changes to this sweetness. That's the resolution. That's when we finally start coming out of everything. We start getting the clarity. We start seeing and understanding why this all was happening. So many of us didn't understand. We're starting to understand, and we're starting to be able to do something about it. And it's such a relief. The feeling of that music is relief. It's like breakthrough to something sweet. It's really sweet to get this breakthrough, okay? Barbie, you know, is bombing out Oppenheimer. It's so sweet. It may look like woke shit, that's Barbie shit, okay? And it may look silly, but it may be that some of these clowns, you know, we're no angels. I keep telling you, there's a team there that's Clownin the Clowns,